What's up, everybody? My name's Andy Dew. I am a film and photography teacher, and I am in the middle of a 30-day vlog challenge that was put on by my students myself and my students. We came up with it together. Holy crap, did you see that sting bug? It was like on my neck. Holy crap. Okay, so I asked them to be a part of this vlog challenge, and I knew a couple of days of fall break would be kind of crazy. So I got them to write down random questions. So I have like all of these random questions. I'm gonna go through a couple of these that I can answer today. This is part one of this because I am not getting through all of these because there is a lot. And I don't want you to be here all day. So, every year we watch Peter McKinnon's Bucket Shot, and several of them asked me what my bucket shot is. I've got 3 here. So the question is, what is your bucket shot? My bucket shot is taking a photo of Horseshoe Bend, Arizona. I want to go there and take a photo of my feet dangling off the cliff at Horseshoe Bend, Arizona. Always wanted to take that, and then Peter McKinnon goes off and does the valley and takes my shot. But I think I can do it my way. Not better than him, but I'll do it my way. Still my bucket shot, and I plan on vlogging that for this trip, for this channel. And the next question is, what is one photo you have to take before you die? Wow. That's kind of like the bucket shot, but let's try to make it something different. I would love to take a photo of a lion in the wild, like just doing its thing. I would love to have that photo before I died. Okay, this question is, do a one-handed push-up. I would, but I just rolled my ankle really bad. All right, this question is, what is the best camera to start out with whenever you first starting photography? This question is a great question, but it has a very simple answer. It's the camera you have. So many people have cell phones nowadays, and those cameras are amazing. Start taking photos with it. Start taking photos with your grandma's old camera, like a little point and shoot that she has in her closet. That's the best camera to start with. Once you can make good photos out of a bad camera, making good photos out of a great camera will be so easy. And that's what I highly recommend, is starting out with a really cheap, not so great camera. That way you can know how to make it look good by using lighting, using great props, using different techniques and angles, rather than focus on the gear whenever you're starting out. Of course, get a better camera whenever you can afford it and it's in your budget. I personally am a Sony guy. I love Sony cameras. I have 3 Sony cameras myself, and I'm looking for a 4th. Don't tell my wife. She doesn't watch this channel anyways. What am I talking about? The best camera to start out with is definitely the one you have access to. So just start out, start making stuff, start pushing stuff, start doing things, and you will be impressed by what you could do, even with like a little iPhone. Like if you got an iPhone 11 on, you've got a decent camera, especially 13 and 14 and 15. If you got one of those, the cameras are absolutely phenomenal. And honestly, whenever you get a budget, I would highly recommend maybe looking into getting lighting first before getting a better camera. Unless you just don't have any, like if your cell phone's like really old and you don't have good camera at all to get your hands on, you want to start doing photography, then you would probably want to start out by buying a camera. You could buy a cheap DSLR for a couple $100. I would go with the Sony 6300 to 6400. Those are really good start out cameras. Canon's got a few. I don't know Canon as well as I do Sony, but Canon's got some that are in that price range as well, and they're always solid. The reason I like the Sony 6400 is because it's decent at video and it's decent at photography, so it's kind of like the best of both worlds for a starter. So I would highly recommend the 6400 if you had the budget for that. I think it's from $600 to $1,000 right now. I'm not sure. The price is right here on the screen. Why do cameras usually cost so much money? The reason they usually cost, actually, like, we're really kind of blessed right now because cameras are a lot cheaper than they used to be. If you wanted to take good camera photography back in the day, you're looking at $3,000 plus. Now you can get a decent camera for under $1,000. So like technology's really coming up. And I mean, cell phones nowadays cost like $1,500. I'm literally filming this video on my cell phone right now. So like you can use a cell phone, you can use anything. But The reason they cost so much, and the reason that good photography cameras cost so much, especially the glass, like the lenses, is because you're paying for your f-stop, your aperture. If you can have like a 1.8 or 1.4 to like 2.8, like that's amazing, and you got so much light that comes into that. So that's why the glass costs so much, is because the aperture is able to do more. DSLRs are pretty simple. Mirrorless are really coming up, so you can really get some decent stuff for a reasonable price right now. But the reason there's so much is you're paying for what you get. So if you want a really good image right out of camera, you're gonna have to pay more for that, or you're gonna have to be better at editing and buy a cheaper camera. If you drop a camera in water, can you put it in rice like a smartphone? I think you probably could. My recommendation would be just try not to drop it in water, because I don't think you would be able to bounce back from that personally. I've never done it, and I'm not going to try it. I definitely think it's possible to try. I would try it to save my camera, but I don't think it would actually work. So I looked this up after filming this video, and I come across this. It actually says you might be able to save your camera. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to switch your camera off, and you're going to want to remove the memory card battery, remove the lens, check for water, remove as much as you can by pouring it out. And then it tells you to rinse your camera, which is crazy to me, and then dry and rice and camera, and if that doesn't work, take it to a camera repair shop. So my guess is it's probably not going to go, but it just caught me off guard that it said rinse your camera. So I guess that's just to get like the dirty water, like if you dropped it in a pond or something, get it to clean up. I don't know, it's awesome. So there is a chance, apparently, you could save your camera if you dropped it in water. What is your favorite photo you've ever taken? My favorite photo I've ever taken would have to be this photo right here of my daughter. We were on a camping trip, and she was just amazed by this little lantern that I had, and she just kept playing with it, and I was able to capture this photo, and I just thought it brought out her eyes, and the lighting just looked really cool. Do you have to edit all your photos? Absolutely not. Do I? Yes. Yes, I love to edit photos. I think you can actually bring them closer to what your eye sees. For some reason, a camera doesn't give it justice, especially like a good sunset photo. I've got to bring back some of those oranges and those reds and those pinks to the photo, because for some reason the saturation gets a little dull and it doesn't look as good to me as it does with my naked eye. So I always boost it just a little bit to bring it back to where my eyes saw it at, and maybe even sometimes a little better. Why do them pictures? Literally, why do them pictures? Question mark. Like literally, that's what the card says. Why do them pictures? Because it's amazing, and we get to do them. What's your favorite genre of photography to take? I would have to say documentary style, and lifestyle. So just capturing people living life. I feel like this camera's cutting off my head. Let me boost it up a little bit. I like being able to film people just living life and doing their everyday things, especially like for weddings and things like that. I prefer just to capture people interacting with each other rather than like posing them. That and sports photos, because that's literally just capturing people in the moment. So sports photos, lifestyle photos, and product photography. Yep, change it all. Product photography is by far my favorite. Here's a photo I took. Would you ever consider photography full-time? I've done it. I used to work at a place full-time for photography. Pretty much made yearbooks for churches for a while. I would go and take family photos and like get everybody together all dressed up for their photo and do that. Would I ever go back to something like that? Absolutely not. Teaching, I love it. I love being able to teach and do my own thing, just to be able to like capture what I want to capture rather than trying to figure out what these people would like and then making that photo based on what they like and trying to get them to buy my product. I hate selling things, so I would never go back to that. the way I kind of look at it is, if you like my work, you'll use my work and you'll hire me to do what I do rather than me trying to get what you want. You will want what I have already. I don't know, it's weird. I think really weird like that. And one thing that's cool about teaching is I get to share all of the ways that it's done and then just show them how I do it. And I love being able to teach film photography. What is the hardest photo you've ever had to take? I can't think of the hardest photo I've ever had to take, but the hardest video I've ever had to make was in high school. We had three friends. I had three friends that went on a duck hunting trip, and the boat capsized and we lost them. Their friends got together and wrote a song, or they played a song, or they had a song, and I made a video with photos of this young man for his funeral, who was my friend who I had in class, several classes, or I think it was just 2 classes with him, and really cool guy, but we lost him during his duck hunting accident, and I had to make a video for the family and for his friends and stuff like that. And just watching that video and placing those things, just it was very hard, really hard video to make, but I was able to make that, and they played it at his funeral, which it sucked because he was a great dude. Why do I do what I do? I do what I do because of you. All of my students, all of the people watching these videos. I love being able to create for others, and it's videos that I want to create, but it's for you guys, like literally for my students, for the people on my YouTube channels. It's really cool just to have like people who want to watch it, and I've got like a solid 10 people that every time I post something, they're going to show up. So I appreciate you guys. And my students, like, y'all have to listen to me all year, so definitely do it for you guys as well. How many pictures do you have on your phone? I don't know, I'm filming on it, let me check. And I have 5,610 photos. Actually 5,611, because I took a screenshot of that for this video. And I'm gonna make this video. This is a great question. Taking better landscape and / sunset photography. I'm gonna make a separate video just for that, because I love taking like, I've been known to pull my car over and stop in the middle of the road. I'm gonna do a separate video on that just for whoever asked that question. What is the hardest thing to take a picture of? Children. Children don't listen. Children want to not be setting in that photo, and they want to do their own thing. And that's why I like lifestyle photography so much better, because like literally I can just have the mom and the kids and the dads all doing something, and because they're doing something, the kids are going to be having fun, and then the parents just get to like smile and look at the camera, and then boom, you got your photo. I think that's so much easier to do, because children don't like to sit still and smile and look at a camera. It just doesn't happen. They're the hardest thing to take a photo of. That and obviously Bigfoot. So those 2 things. Hardest 2 things to take photos of. How many photos on average do you take each time you take photos to make sure you get off me? Make sure you get the perfect photo. Me personally, I overshoot really bad. I will probably take, I'm gonna answer this on the low scale. So if I was at Disney World and somebody hands me their phone and says, hey, can you take a picture of us in front of this castle? I will take 4 different framings. So I'll frame them up 4 different ways, and I'll take 4 different pictures, giving them like cues saying, hey, all right, smile now, look at each other, blah, blah, blah. And literally give them like a little photo shoot. So I'm minimum of 14 shots there. Just if you have them in your phone itself at like Disney World. So 14 there. On my own camera, it's probably about the same if I'm taking like a selfie with my family. I did a senior photo shoot last year, and I had 2 different locations, 4 different outfits, and I took close to 2,000 photos. All right, and that is the end of episode 1. I've also got video questions that I'm gonna go over. The video questions might just be me doing a whole bunch of individual videos from each of these because they're all really good questions on how to do things. But I will be doing a part 2 of photography questions. This is just the end of part 1. If you have any questions to be in part 2, in the comments below, be sure to hit me up. And I will be sure to answer your questions in part 2 as well as answering the rest of my students' questions. Like I said, I couldn't get through all of them. I'll be more than glad to help you guys out as well. So if you have any photography, videography questions, please hit them up in the comments below. I would love to be able to make videos talking about your questions because I definitely want to get you guys more involved in this YouTube channel, especially with my students as they've asked all these questions. And if you come up with any more questions, just hit me up. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. My name's Andy Dew. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.